Okay, I'm back from work. Hello, peeps. Um, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about today, but yeah, it was. I had a good day today. Yeah, all of my patients showed up, as usual. Yeah, we very seldom have no show. So anyway, ooh, I want to show you something. See this? I got more stuff. More stuff. But this is like Motrin instant. Oh, infant's drops. You know, if your baby has a fever, they can take this one. It's a fever reducer meds. I have Band-Aid and I got more stuff. Zyrtec, this is for allergy. Allergy for children. I don't know why I'm getting these things. These are like for babies. I don't have a baby. I wish I had a baby. So Tylenol, pain and fever infants. Fever reducer for infants. So yeah, I got, see that? Yeah, they sent this to me. Yeah, I got, Tylenol. Yeah, I'm gonna give some of this to Bernie because he's gonna have a baby. I'm so excited. Turned out to be a boy. I wanted it to be a girl. So anyway, and I bought a gift for the baby, but it's meant for a girl. Dang. So anyway, so yeah, I got this stuff, and I'm not gonna be able to keep these. I don't need these. It's gonna be sent to the Philippines, but those, yeah, they're gonna stay here for my patients. So anyway, and see this? I got another box of Advil, which is for, deep cleaning meds. This is what I recommend after they have their deep cleaning. It's acetaminophen for pain. So yeah. So this is what I usually give to somebody. So this is good for headaches, muscular aches, minor pain of arthritis, menstrual cramps, and toothache. So yeah, this is good after debridement. Helps with the pain. Okay, more toothpaste. How about that? Okay, I will take those to the clinic. One of these days. I got a whole bunch. Oh my God, it's already 3 minutes. My God, time flies, I'm telling you. So anyway, I had this patient real quick. Okay. He's in his 20s. And he's gonna be married maybe next year, or who knows, okay? And I feel bad for him, but I'm more sympathetic towards the girl, or the lady, or the woman, whatever you call it, but because I had this patient, and I was cleaning his teeth, and I was mentioning, you have this and you have that, and let me just, give you the whole shebang. But I'm not gonna tell you who this person really is, because that would be a HIPAA violation. We're not allowed to, tell you who this person is. But he had what you call soft enamel, so weak enamel. I asked him about his lifestyle, about his diet, what he eats, what he drinks, like I want to know in order for me to be able to help him. And so he told me he brushes his teeth twice a day. No, once a day. Has to be twice a day, morning and night. Okay, just once a day. And then he flosses his teeth every day. That's good. Yeah. And then, that's pretty much it. No mouth rinse doesn't use any mouth rinse. So I asked him if he has sensitivity issues. And he said, yeah, I do. And then I started cleaning his teeth, and then bingo. He said, ouch, ouch. So many ouches. So I said, okay, let's do Orakex to numb his gums or teeth, whatever he's feeling. So that helps actually. Yeah, the numbness would be a lot easier for me to like work on his teeth. Like if you have, So I used this numbing agent. So it was an injection, just the numbing gel. I put it around his tooth. I administer it subgingivally, meaning below the gum line type administration. So I started cleaning his teeth, and I said, what do you eat? What do you drink? Blah, blah, blah. And he was telling me he likes to eat chips after he, comes home from work. I said, okay. And then, my God, I started working on his teeth, and then I noticed his teeth are like really rough, like the surfaces. And then I like started working like subgingivally, meaning below the gum line type, like scaling. And I noticed like he had, what do you call lesions? Just grooves, roughness, chipping. And I said, you must be clenching and grinding. You're going to need night guard. And then I noticed like he's, I was asking him, do you experience any mouth dryness? And he said, yeah, I do. And I said, what do you eat? And then he started telling me, I eat this, like chips, crackers. I said, well, crackers, that's fermentable carbs. That's worse than candy. And so he said, really? I said, yep. And then what else? And then he told me chips. I said, that's very salty. That can cause dryness in the mouth. And if you don't have any saliva in the mouth, because saliva serves as a buffer, it makes the mouth less acidic. And if you have like dry mouth, your mouth is very acidic. That means you're prone to getting cavities, you're prone to getting staining, because you're like the enamel, the outer layer of your teeth, that teeth becomes more porous. That means things could, get in there, and it does weaken your enamel. The acid will weaken your enamel. And so I told him, then you're going to have to stop eating these chips. You're going to have to stop, like if you want to keep your teeth, you're going to have to stop eating these chips. And if you have to eat chips, make sure you're swishing. And then you have to like stop this, stop that. He said, what am I going to eat? Oh my God, he got pissed. And I thought, geez, dang, if you have that attitude, then you're going to get married soon. I feel bad for the lady. No, you can't have a guy like that. With that attitude. Like, I felt bad because of his dental condition, and and I know that he had, like, when he was a child, something happened, but I can't give you any details, but yeah. And he was living with his grandmother, and his dad was, irresponsible, and, enough about, his background, but, so yeah, his attitude, whew, Dang. If you have a guy like that in your life, you know, I know for sure, like whoever he's marrying, she's gonna be living in hell. She's gonna be living in resentment. Yeah. That type of person needs healing. He needs a timeout. Dang, you know? But, yeah. So I told him, you're gonna have to do something, you know, if you want to keep your teeth, you're gonna have to stop eating those chips. Or you can eat those chips, but in moderation. Like if you eat it every day, bingo. You're gonna say goodbye to your teeth, you know. So, yeah, if he listens to me, good. If he doesn't, that's his business. But my God, whoo, he has the attitude. Dang. Yeah, if you have something like that, you know, like someone with that attitude, let go of that person. Find somebody else. Jiminy crickets. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know what to add with that one. But I hope he comes to I hope he realizes something later on. But he's not capable, you know, of living as a married man. No, just, I could feel it. But, yeah, he was not willing to listen. Yeah. Was not willing to listen. But hopefully, I did tell him, you're going to have to come back in 3 months. I need to see you again. I want to see your gums. And I'm not going to stop until his, you know, his gums are okay, his teeth are okay. Right now, it's like every single tooth has had whatever, like rough. They were rough. And yeah. And with the sensitivity he had, with the sensitivity issues, yeah, he's gonna end up having, because he had like rough surfaces and grooves. I could feel it. Like he has root lesions, like root cavities. I could feel it with my instruments. That's why he was very sensitive, because the dentine like is exposed. There's like, because of the acid, the high level of the acidity level is like quite high. So yeah, so never, like if you eat crackers, eat it in moderation. Don't eat it every single day, because that turn into like a your teeth are gonna be weakened because of that, because of the acid. Yeah, some people, they say it will eat your enamel, but it will weaken your enamel. And then especially if you brush your teeth right away, after eating it, bingo, say goodbye to your teeth. Yeah, you're gonna end up having weak enamel. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know that person. He's. I just feel bad for him. Yeah, feel bad for him. So yeah, I just got home from work. I thought, no, I'm just gonna show up and talk about this guy really quick. But yeah, because I was just, yeah, he was very pessimistic as well. I keep telling him, don't worry, it's gonna get better, I promise you. Because I have some patients too, like similar situation, but didn't have his attitude. But yeah, this guy, so, and he was very pessimistic. He was telling me that, no, nothing's gonna help me, nothing's gonna help me. He was very stubborn. Very stubborn. So I told him, you're gonna have to use xylitol. You're gonna have to use xylitol gums if you're clenching and grinding. Maybe not the xylitol gum, maybe xylitol tablets, because xylitol, it kills acid forming bacteria. And so if you take that tablets maybe 3 times per day, or after eating crackers or chips, if you really have to eat chips, I think that reduce the chances of getting cavities. So yeah, because it kills the microbes, but the acid forming type microbes. Yeah. And coming to the dentist or the dental clinic will help too. Having that frequent cleanings, like every 3 months, so that we can monitor, for early cavities, or yeah, he's gonna have to, come to the clinic every 3 months. He's gonna have to revamp his home care regimen. He's going to be, using fluoridated toothpaste. He's gonna be flossing his teeth, brushing twice a day, flossing each day. He's gonna have to use anti-cavity mouth rinses, to prevent cavities. So many things. If you're drinking something that's acidic or sugary, you're gonna have to rinse with water. It makes the mouth less acidic. Yeah. So you're gonna have to do that. So yeah. So I feel bad for him, because of, his childhood situation. And then now he's getting married. Well, about to get married. Man. Yeah. No. He shouldn't. He needs to change himself for, to have a good future. Not just for himself, but for the whole family. But I don't know what he's gonna do. But for now, he needs to do something for himself first. But yeah. Man, I'm glad it's not me that he's gonna be marrying. Yeah, that's really sad. No, yeah. So anyway, I don't know why I came. I just want to chit chat, but yeah, with his dental condition, plus, yeah, in that situation, yeah, you women out there, no. Let him change his ways, or else, yeah. So anyway, that's it for today. I just came to visit my beautiful people. Yeah. So, yeah, I can understand why he has this grouchiness and this, pessimism. Yeah, because of his situation. Yeah. He's gonna have to change his mental state. He's gonna have to love himself. He's gonna have to work on himself. That negativism, that pessimism, it's gotta be thrown out. Yeah, it's gonna be thrown out. Because otherwise, he's not gonna be able to live the life he wants to live. He's not gonna be happy. So, for the rest of his life, So, yeah. Dang. I hope he'll figure out something. I just hope so. But, yeah. But I will try my very best to help him. To kind of, give him some encouragement. Yeah. I do give a little bit of, it's not actually it's not a good thing to give advice to people because everyone has their, there is a recipe for each individual. This might work for somebody, but this one might not work for somebody. But I'll find a way, I don't know. I might be able to, but yeah. I'm sure he's a good person. He's a good person, but he's like what he experienced really altered his behavior, altered his whole persona. Yeah. So you have to work on him. Yeah, he needs to work on himself first. Yeah, in that situation, yeah, because otherwise you'll end up getting divorced. You will live unhappily. Yeah, not just him, his wife, his family, the whole family, and of course the relatives will be affected too. So, yeah, he's gonna have to figure things out. So if you, my special you, before you do anything, like work on yourself, self-love. Start from there, self-love. Yeah. How do you do that? Yeah, you can start taking care of yourself in positive thoughts, okay? Think you're a beautiful person. Think you're a good person. Think you're a smart person. Think you're this person. Yeah. You're talented. You're strong. All these things. Yeah. Tell that to yourself. Because what you're heading towards, if you have this pessimism, if you think you're not capable of doing anything, that's who you will become. So, yeah. So, yeah. In order for you to prosper, positive thoughts, positive thinking. Yeah. I wouldn't become a hygienist if it wasn't because of my positive outlook in life. I really strived hard. Yeah. And I believe I'm the number one student in my hygiene class. I believe so. Yeah. Because my grades are unbelievable. Yeah. A's. But I know grades do not measure your intelligence. Oh yeah. They do not. But so yeah, grades don't matter. You got to be able to do it. You got to be able to show it. You got to be able to prove it. You got to apply it and do it. You got to be very capable. You got to be skillful. Yeah. If your grades, you do have, good grades, but hey, You gotta be able to prove that you're very capable. Yeah. And in order for you to do that, you gotta tell yourself, I can do it. Yes, I am a great, this, and I'm a great, that. Yeah. And that's what manifests. So that's the secret. Yeah. So yeah, you gotta be able to do it. You gotta be, you gotta instill this thing inside of you that you are, like me, I'm a great dental hygienist who provides nothing but great care, who provides nothing but great care and with love and compassion to my patients, like continuously. So yeah. So yeah, and hopefully you'll get something from this talk. I know, like it dragged on. I'm a little bit tired, I just got home from work, so yeah, look at me, like I'm all ruggedy Andy, but yeah, you women out there, if you have something like that, so immature, do not, you can find you deserve better. Yeah, don't have somebody like that. Don't have somebody like that. Yeah. So they gotta be like the king, able to provide, able to love you unconditionally. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they don't have to have, they don't have to be wealthy like this guy, whoever you want to be with. They don't have to have the money. They don't have to have the means. But if you two are like truly in love, like if you're don't have any issues with your emotional, psychological, you will prosper. You will prosper. Yeah. You will work in unison. You will work. You'll have like teamwork, Yeah. So, yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. This you know me. I jumble. I don't know if there's a word jumble. Yeah, I just made that up. So this is more like whatever comes to mind. I just, just talk about it, all that. Just, Yeah. So anyway. Oh, I do notice I don't look because I've been suffering with anemia, and so my lips do look like hypoxic. Yeah, I've been taking my ferrous sulfate, so I have a little bit of pinkness. I didn't notice that, but the doctor told me to take iron supplement. So I've been taking iron supplement, and she said that if like 6 weeks from now, 6 weeks or 6 months, they're gonna recheck they're gonna do blood work. So, yeah. So I'm not as anemic looking. What is that? Pale looking? Yeah. Sometimes like my lips do look like they're, bluish colored. So yeah, I've been taking my ferrous sulfate, so I should, I think I'm gonna be better, healthier. So it has something to do with my ferrous sulfate. I think I used to be very anemic when I was a child, until I was a teenager. So someone had to take me to the hospital because I was very anemic. I had to, I was very dizzy. I also experienced vertigo, all these things. It was really bad. I felt like, I was dying. Yeah. So yeah, look at that. if you have issues with anemia, yeah, ferrous sulfate, iron supplement, 65 milligram. That's what I take. But don't just take it from me. Talk to your doctor before you do anything, okay? I'm not your doctor. I'm just chit-chatting here. But yeah, have some blood work done, yeah, to make sure. So yeah, don't just take it from me. Do your research and then bring it up with your doctor, yeah. But yeah, that's what I take, and that's what I've taken when I was a young person. When I was a young person. It's not that I'm still young. I'm young and beautiful. See? So, yeah. So, I'm not as pale. I'm not as hypoxic. So, yeah. That's it. Because I have to do something. I have to get something from Walgreens. Pick up some prescription. Then after that, I'm going to take a nap just for a little bit. It does help me. Just a short nap. And then I'm out and about. I love you. I love teeth. And I love you. Okay, that's it.